Well, hello everybody. We have another episode for you this week. A little bit more subdued, a little bit more serious this week.
Wait,
We're gonna be talking.
why is this more serious? How were we not serious before?
I kind of felt like
when have we ever not been
this...
serious?
I mean, right? I mean, Daniel, like you're already trying to break it up right now. Like, I'm trying to take the show in more of a professional way.
Yeah,
like
be
you've been
professional.
talking. Okay,
go ahead.
Thank you. We want to put forth a good front for what we do and the kind of people we are and the kind of things that we're going to talk to you guys about today because I think you guys are going to like it. I think you guys are going to find a new way to invest your money into things that we just love. But I'm here. I'm Tim Baker. I'm here with your co-hosts.
Daniel frickin' Brown.
And John Stuart.
Thank you, John, for keeping it again nice
Oh,
and curt.
crap. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I forgot. We're more serious. All right.
Okay,
I got
you.
it this time. Good to go.
But we're going to be talking later about a certain someone on... that was a strange way of describing it. I rescind that professionally.
Someone. Tim, we're being serious.
That sounds like I need to have a talk from the Human Resources Department using strange language. Anyway, we're going to be talking about someone who got an interesting letter from a bank. I don't think I've ever really gotten a scary letter from the bank. I got one from the PA license department about a point thing, but never from a bank, anything that really mattered that much.
That reminds me, brief interjection, because we talked about car registration a few episodes ago, and I got a letter that said my license or my registration might be suspended because they didn't have insurance records. And it said within 15 days, but I never checked my mail. So by the time I read the letter, I think I was suspended. And I have no idea where that stands right now. I called my insurance company and they notified the state, but I haven't heard anything else since that. So for all I know, I'm suspended right now. Which, crap. Now if I go to court, this is going to get me in trouble, but whatever. All right, continue, Tim.
So yeah, we're going to get to that a little bit later. Something some people might have some experience with a little bit.
No, we're going to get to the bank letter, not the car registration letter.
Yes, correct. Nobody cares about your car registration letter, Daniel. Everybody wants to know about the bank, but we're going to talk about that later. But first, what we have to mention to you guys today is something, and we don't have any kind of stay or stand in this company. I've actually been a fan of collectible card games for a long time. I think they're overlooked for their rules, their complex rules, and there's the strategy involved with them. And I don't just see them as cheap pieces of paper sold for way too much money to get people to just collect things, and then they expand 500,000 times, and then there's all these new things. Just collect this, and there's potions too. Oh my god. No, I think
well, it's even better now because it's not just cheap slips of paper. It's literally artificial cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, it's
or even Pokemon, just digital, you own this Pokemon. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So, yeah.
That's important for people, though, Daniel. Remember, we need to sell this. Shh.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, no, I enjoy them, and I think, as Daniel mentioned, that there's this trading card game. I guess you battle or something. Actually, I should probably ask Daniel.
Well, I have actually played the game. Well, we should start like any good news show. We should lead with the news. All the news is that there's an in-game currency for this card game, Spells of Genesis. The in-game currency is a cryptocurrency, and it's called BitCrystals. And the price has more than doubled over the past week or two. So that's the only news, is the price is going up quite a bit, and it's pretty cool because the game is about to launch, I think within a month or two, officially. It's in beta now, and it'll officially launch. So that is happening. The price is going up, and there are rare cards that are going up. And yeah, the gameplay itself, I do have the app on my phone, and it's kind of you guys have played brick breaker games before, right? Where you have a paddle and you bounce this ball and try to break the bricks, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a spin on that. Like your cards are at the bottom, and you tap to aim at the enemies that are out in the field, and you shoot this thing that bounces around, and you hope it kills your enemies, and your enemies bounce around too. That's the actual gameplay. And but obviously, yeah, it's about collecting the cards and stuff. And I don't even care, Tim, if people know that we're invested, because we got some BitCrystals, and it's pretty freaking cool, and we have some rare cards. A Satoshi card sold. That's probably the rarest card in the game. There's only 200 of them in existence on the blockchain. That's the other thing about this card game. We've mentioned it in a couple episodes, but that's the main value proposition of this card game, is that the cards are on the blockchain, just like Bitcoin. Just they're a counterparty asset. A counterparty is the system that runs on the blockchain. And, LTB coin was a counterparty asset, and there were some other big ones. But anyway, so there it is. What do you think, Tim? Are we gonna buy a yacht with BitCrystals one day?
I don't really care what I buy, but I want it to be something that's at least expensive enough for it to be stupid to have been bought with the currency from an online trading card game.
All right, so we need ideas, guys, all you listeners. What should we buy with our BitCrystals when we get filthy rich off of them? Should it be a yacht? Should it be a Rolex? I don't know. Let us know. Leave a comment if you're listening on YouTube or wherever. On the website, if you're listening, leave a comment. Tell us what we should buy. Send us a tweet to @YouMe and BTC. We are always up for that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I like the yacht idea.
Just what kind of stuff are we always up for?
No, for communication from our audience, for tweets and comments.
We always want you guys to talk to us, definitely. Give us an idea for like how we want to spend the money, as Daniel's been saying, because then it'll feel better. If other people tell you it, then it makes it seem like it's real in your own head.
John, I think we've had plenty of conversations on this show about when we're willing to spend money and what makes us willing to spend money. Do we buy brands? Are we cheap bastards? And honestly, over the years of this show, I've fluctuated a lot. There have been times where I've been super cheap, and I don't even want to spend money on, like $2 or even like 99 cents on an app, which I have never done in my life. And there have been times where I've been a little looser, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll shell out $50 a year for Pandora because they accept Bitcoin. We've had all kinds of conversations about that, about when we spend money or for what. But I want to know, John, if there's anything that if you got filthy rich pretty quick, anything that you would splurge on, especially if it was Bitcoin related or crypto related, what would you spend your cryptocurrency on just to show off the fact that you got rich on cryptocurrency? Would you do anything?
Yeah, I would probably pay off my student loans in like a single payment.
All right. Yeah, you could pay them off and just get like a bumper sticker that says, I paid off my student loans with Bitcoin.
I guess it's more fun, though, if I pretend that I don't have them. And then what would I buy? Maybe that's what you actually wanted to know.
Yeah. Pretend like you're not a normal dude in the system with student loans and a job at a bank. Pretend like you're a true anarchist libertarian. And
the weeds of the world have choked us out.
I mean, I would probably just buy a guitar, or I would,
right.
Either that, or I would buy like more recording stuff, or like a really sick computer or something like that. I don't know.
Nice. Would you get a Bitcoin colored electric guitar? I feel like that color would go well on an electric guitar. The bright Bitcoin orange.
John, I would have to break that if you did that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I also probably wouldn't get an electric guitar, but
okay, yeah. All right. Speaking of splurging, I found another artist who I might be able to buy a giant piece of art from. So I don't think I ever mentioned this on the show, but for a while I was trying to buy some original art from Belgium. It was by somebody that's pretty well known on the Bitcoin forums and stuff, and I was willing to splurge a little bit on that. But that fell through. I still don't even know what happened. He just kind of disappeared. I did reach out to a crypto artist on Twitter, and that's still a possibility, but he's been busy lately. So anyway, but there's another possibility that I've been working on. So that's what I might be splurging on soon, is some fancy art. And maybe I'll even see if I can make sure it has some crypto or digital themes in it. We'll see how that goes. So
make someone make a movie. If you get like really rich, pay someone to make a movie with like subliminal messages towards cryptocurrency set in like during the
dope.
Civil War.
That was dope, Tim.
No, you have to make it like actual subliminal, not just like going out and telling these kids are selling drugs from online. It's about Bitcoin. Watch our movie.
You're not cracking, popping a bit. But so yeah, anyway, apologies, audience.
I do apologize for that. But yeah, just do it as like this like real subliminal thing, so there'll be like 3 people who believe it, and everyone else will tell them they're stupid.
Yep.
And then you'll be like, this is actually about money that comes to you too quickly from sources you do not understand.
Yeah,
it destroys your life.
We'll do it. We'll splurge on movies and art and audio equipment and stuff. But no, seriously, I mean, we are joking. We are invested in it, and we are joking, about getting filthy rich off of it, which could happen. But regardless of all that, it is still a pretty cool, pretty innovative idea. It's the first card game on the blockchain. I mean, that's freaking awesome. It's got a decent development studio behind it. They've developed a game before, and it still does fairly well in the app stores and stuff. So, there it is. This is not a sponsored message. It's just something cool that's been going on. The price is going up, and we are invested in it. We do like it, so we figured we would share it. So there you go. Any other thoughts that we got to get out about that?
Buy.
Yeah, pump it, so we can dump it and screw you. No. Oh, hey, this is pretty totally random. We did not plan this at all, but it just came to my mind. Probably because we were sounding like a bunch of junkies that might defecate in ear holes. This just came to my mind because I heard Tim talking. But that was a comment that we received a week or two ago on one of our episodes.
Wait, say that again.
Someone on YouTube
give it to me.
Said that it sounded like a bunch of junkies just defecated in his ear hole. So there you go. That's us. We like to share our feedback, especially if it's good feedback.
Was that an episode that I wasn't in?
No, of course it was an episode you were in.
Yeah, actually, you're right, John. You were not in it. I did just pull it up. It was, ironically, this was one of our best episodes in a really long time. It's probably in our top 3 or something. And here it is, word for word. It was episode number 137 about Kim.com's grand vision for Bitcoin's future. And here's the quote. Wow, it felt like a bunch of intoxicated junkies just took a nice long dump into my ear holes. So it made me proud. I replied there. That comment made me proud. I love to know what I sound like, and I'm proud to sound like an intoxicated junkie who takes nice long dumps in ear holes. So there you go. Yeah, that was on World Crypto Network. There's another person down here that says you should not be allowed on World Crypto Network. Fine, if that's what you think, believe it, but screw you. We don't need you anyway. So
fine. Believe it. I'm a ninja. Believe it.
Yeah. Well, this is I work at a media company. I've said this before, that has slightly clicky headlines. That's an understatement. There are people that literally do nothing but title posts to get clicks. It's better than some clickbait, but it's still clickbait. All right. And so I've been taking some leads from that, and I titled this episode, quote, "This is Kim.com's grand vision for Bitcoin's future." And I'm learning that just including the word "this" in a title is, it's like more than doubling some of our clicks, some of our numbers, because people want to know what this is. So, yeah, you can look out for more of that if you want to. Oh, man. All right. All right. That's our feedback hour right there, or feedback 5 minutes. We do like to read our comments from time to time because we seriously do like getting them. And there were plenty of serious ones on here, I guess, about like, oh, I like Kim.com and I wouldn't trust him with my money. That was one of the things we were asking about in the episode. And yeah, we like to know what you think about that stuff. Someone said, because we were talking about mesh networks and trying to describe them. And someone said, I'm not a fan of the term mesh network used to describe soft services when it has always been utilized in the topology realm. Somewhat certain IEEE would agree with me. And that's a good point. We were talking about a mesh network used for like storage, cloud storage, and cloud computing and stuff. Technically, a mesh network is a network topology. It literally means nothing other than like a web of connections. It's a bunch of computers connected to a bunch of computers. That's literally all it means. And that's a fair point. That's the true definition. So there you go. There's some more feedback for you. I guess we should put in the real comments in addition to the intoxicated junkie comments. Are you tired of Bitcoin dice and ready for something different? Try LuckyBit, the original falling coin game, at luckybee.it. It's the most exciting Bitcoin game on the web. You can bet on 5 different payout lines and win up to 999 times your bet. You can even use their faucet to get some free Bitcoin. Dice is boring. Play different at LuckyBit. Check it out at luckybee.it. All right, what's next on the list, guys?
Well, yeah, okay. Shut up, Daniel. Be quiet. It's time for John to talk now. Dun da da da.
About what?
Okay, so
About a bank. About the bank
that was
we
the
were
original
talking about before.
That was the original question: is what is next on the list? So I don't know why it was so hard to answer it, but all right, I guess we're getting there.
Okay. So this is a post that we found on Reddit about a guy who got physically banned from his bank, his personal bank, for using Bitcoin. I don't know. Should I? He included an image which is a photograph of a letter that the bank sent him.
we can read this letter. It's not that long.
Yeah, I'll just go for it as soon as it loads again because I closed it.
Wait, are you looking at the Tiny Pic one or the Imgur one?
The Tiny Pic one.
See, that's the first comment that I have on the Reddit thread is an Imgur rehost, because apparently everyone on Reddit hates Tiny Pic and they prefer Imgur or Imgur or whatever you call it. So,
well, it's funny because Imgur was started by people at Reddit who wanted a good way to share pictures.
Yeah.
But now a lot of people hate Imgur because it added a bunch of retarded features, and it
it was the other way around. In this case, they were hating Tiny Pic, and they wanted the Imgur rehost. But maybe you're right. Maybe in general, they don't like Imgur.
Imgur is the only thing that people have right now. But it's
okay.
Like they made Imgur to have an image hosting site that just had no features. And then it added all this social media stuff.
Yep. I know what you mean. Yeah.
All right, this stupid Tiny Pic won't even load.
Exactly. Maybe that's why people hate it.
There we go. All right, now that I finally got this open.
Thank you, Reddit.
Dear blank, redacted, I guess I should say. Redacted regrets to inform you that it is unable to serve your banking needs at this time. Your above referenced account with redacted will be closed in 30 in parentheses, calendar days, and an official check representing the balance in your account on this date, if any, will be mailed to you at the above address. You may close this account early if you wish. Any withdrawal against the account will be honored if sufficient funds are available in the account at the time the item is presented. If you would like...
Well, hold on. We could start there. There is some more fun stuff about the restrictions and stuff. But that's a good place to start. He claims that this was regarding Bitcoin, which now there's some definite questions about the validity of this, because he doesn't even say what bank it was. He doesn't say where it happened. it's literally just like, oh, we shut down your account. So you never know. But yeah, what do you think about that? And I possibly have some experience with this. I think I've mentioned it on the show, how I've had bank accounts shut down, and I theorize that it could be about Bitcoin, but I'm not really sure. But that's where I would start, is what do you guys think about that? Is it realistic to expect a bank account to be shut down just because of Bitcoin?
Well, I thought yours had more to do with the volume of transactions.
Yeah, high volume. Because I was... Well, yeah, you're right. It might be because I was buying and selling Bitcoin and stuff.
Yeah,
and so they might not have even...
I mean,
yeah.
One of my bank accounts is linked to my PayPal. And so the way that works is that when I use my PayPal, it transfers money from my bank account. And sometimes I've gotten warnings from my bank account because I bought 5 things with PayPal in a month. And you're not allowed...
is it a savings account?
No, it's a checking account. But,
what?
So... It's just like if you go over a certain number of transfers, it's not purchases.
What?
It's just transfers. They want to...
So like ACH transfers.
Whatever PayPal uses. I don't know.
That'd be
abstracted.
ACH.
But
wow, that's crazy.
Well, see, the thing is, they
on
wouldn't...
a checking account.
See, when they send me the warnings, though, it's not like we're going to close your account and not serve you anymore. It's we're going to change your account type to something that allows more transfers.
Yeah, okay.
But that's never actually happened. I've only gotten warnings. So,
okay.
I don't know. But as far as this particular case, I don't know. I'm not completely convinced. I think it's plausible that this actually is about Bitcoin and that it's legitimate, because that is also like under scrutiny. But I think it's plausible, but I'm not totally convinced that that's what's happening.
Right. I mean, his claim, I read in the comments, is that, like, I've only had the account for 2 months, and all I used it for was Bitcoin wire transfers. So, I mean, if we believe him, it could be that. But here's the thing. Just like I meant to say this about my account, they might have no idea that the transfers are related to Bitcoin. In my case, or in this case, they might just see the high volume of transfers, and that might be enough. So it might not be about Bitcoin. Is that what you were getting at, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's where we could leave this. I mean, we don't really have any reason to distrust the original poster. I mean, there's not... what is he trying to gain? Like Reddit karma or something?
Yeah.
Like, I'll write up this whole fake letter and print it out and redact it. I gotta get that Reddit karma. Woohoo!
Well, the other thing is...
actually, though, on the internet, there certainly are people that are that low, so you never know.
Yeah. So I think the funny thing is the last paragraph. I guess I'll just read the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the next thing we got to talk about.
The middle paragraph doesn't really matter. It's just like, if you want to discuss this, feel free to contact this number, which is redacted.
Contact redacted. Who's redacted? I looked redacted up in the phone book and I can't find it.
Anyways, effective immediately, you are not permitted in or on any property owned or leased by redacted. This includes all redacted parking lots and remote redacted ATM locations. If you would need to enter one of the locations for any business purposes over the next 30 calendar days, you must make prior arrangements through the physical security department. Please use the branch contact information provided above to initiate contact with the physical security department. Very truly yours, redacted.
Very truly.
That's what made me laugh, is the physical security department, which it isn't even that weird. I mean, it's just a bank department. It makes perfect sense, but I don't know why I had to laugh when I read that. Go make arrangements with the physical security department so that when you come visit us, we can have 2 armed security guards on either side of you and make sure that you don't do any... See, that's the thing, is even if it was a high volume of transactions, even if it was Bitcoin related, what is it that makes them feel like their security is at risk?
Yeah, physical.
Yeah, like, I mean... Maybe
if they think this guy's like in a drug cartel and he's going to come shoot up everybody at the bank.
Yeah, just get the money back. He's like, shit, I gotta get out of here now. And they're not gonna let me just take everything out.
Yeah.
Or though they are gonna just let him take everything out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He wants to do it fast. He doesn't want to wait in line. Or have to wait for the stupid hours.
Wait, this is a completely sidetracking, but have you guys heard about the blind guy that robbed banks?
No.
I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was basically like a blind guy who came in and basically just told them to give him money every day, and it wasn't a lot of money, and he would just do it like every day, and so they never prosecuted him.
Wait, why?
Actually, I think he pretended to be blind. It's something about. I'm gonna look it up, and then I'll tell you, because the details are. What is the word? I can't remember the word either. The details have slipped my mind. That's not what I was looking for, but the actual word also slipped my mind. So I guess it's just that he was blind, and he overheard somewhere that bank tellers at federally insured banks were instructed to hand out money to robbers without incident. So, like, he just did it a bunch of times, and he didn't get caught until he did it one time while there was, like, an armed guard delivering a bunch of money to the bank. Like, that's...
He just couldn't see him.
Yeah, that was the only time that he got caught.
Well, and they're not supposed to, like, follow up afterwards and, like, check the cameras? Like, was he just asking for $100?
This was in the 70s.
Okay.
And he would just come in and like show them a note, and they would give him money, and he would just walk out.
Yeah, and they didn't really have much recourse.
He would say that he had a gun, but he never actually had a gun. Like, he would just walk in with a cane and a note.
Oh, that's good. All right, new thing to try out one of these days. A good,
not anymore. No,
a fun date or something. I don't know.
But yeah, he's called Blind Bob.
Blind Bob.
Blind Daniel, that weird guy.
Wait, what? Are you saying that's what they'll call me?
Yeah, if you start acting like you're blind around people, they probably will.
Well, you said this guy actually was blind, right, John?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So
or if you just make yourself blind.
I have to gouge my eyes out so that people have more pity on me.
He was legally blind, but he could see, like, outlines of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like, my uncle's legally blind, but he can, like, kind of walk around.
Well, he had to use a cane, but apparently he could see, like,
my
shadows.
My uncle should probably use a cane. But yeah, that's weird, though. Yeah, that they wouldn't follow up, but yeah, they wouldn't be able to do that anymore. The 70s kind of killed it. You just have to do everything online now, or just scam old people out of stuff on TV with fake jewelry.
So let's see. Any other good comments in here about Imgur or about the validity here? I mean,
one other thing is that the guy said that right after he got this letter, he used an ATM from the bank.
All right.
He was like, I used their ATM today to pull money out. Fuck them.
Oh, someone else says, I bet the wire transfers were at or just below $10,000, and that's a BSA Johnny don't do. I don't know what that means, but yeah, don't. That's definitely a no-go. Which that was something I was about to bring up a little bit ago too. It's just that maybe the transfers were from sketchy accounts, or sketchy amounts could definitely be a thing. And when I say sketchy, I mean by the government's terms. I don't care at all. I don't care how much money you move or where you move it. But the government came up with this $10,000 number, and magically, once you have that much money, you're automatically a threat. So yeah, all that stuff is a possibility. And
they don't want the police following him in, because he obviously travels around with huge bags of cocaine stuffed under all of his coats. So they don't want the police to have to make a raid on the bank itself. That's why they're afraid of it. I don't think it's the bank scared of him. I think the bank is scared more of somebody coming after him and then them being associated with him.
That's the thing. Yeah, the bank doesn't care about moving the money. Like, they'll take your money. They don't want to close accounts. The only reason they do it is for compliance. They're scared of the government. And so they have no choice. And so they have to have giant compliance departments just to deal with this crap. So, maybe they are worried about the physical activities of law enforcement in their banks too, and they want to avoid that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly right. So, this I just picked one out at random that looks kind of interesting, and the username here is Hillary is a reptile, but it says personal bank in a Big Four bank here. Yeah, we are instructed to file a report for anything that looks or feels suspicious after opening the account or performing a wire transfer. The back office then makes a decision as to what to do with the account. Wires in particular are highly scrutinized. I feel weird having to question the customer what the wire is for because it's not my business, but I have to is basically what he's saying. So there you go. That's about it, I'm sure. I mean, that's the extent of it, is just suspicious activity. I mean, would you guys disagree? Is there anything else that really could be a factor here?
Most likely not. Because even according to him, he's only used it for doing stuff with Bitcoin. So unless they've literally found like he deposited like a bag of some kind of incriminating stuff, like with his money or something like that, there's no other reason.
Wait, what do you mean?
Wait, he's doing wire transfers. It sounds like he's never actually physically deposited anything.
Tim, how do you deposit a bag of something into your bank account?
I mean, like if he somehow like he went to the bank at one point, like physically, and something about him freaked him. But that doesn't make any sense as far as that goes.
You mean he deposited something with a bag of?
No. I just meant like if something happened while he was at the bank.
All right.
Well, he was physically at the bank, which scared people, and then John said that he's doing wire transfers.
I don't know how you.
I didn't say that it made sense. I was just saying that's the only other thing I can think of besides that it's just about Bitcoin.
I agree with that. He could have done something physically suspicious at a bank. I'm not sure how you got from there to depositing a bag of something. All right. Did you mean like a bag of money? Is that what you...
No, that's not what I meant. Just stop. What was that noise you just made?
I don't know. I didn't realize I made a noise.
All right, just go.
Anyway. All right, well, I mean, I don't know if there's much else to say. Does that mean we're on to Advice of the Week, guys?
Yes. Collective from all of us, including John Stuart. Again, he has a lot of hope, too, in BitCrystals that it'll keep on going up. And we'll see you on the moon, guys. Just remember that.
So here's an interesting piece of advice. This didn't really come up in the show, but it's what came to mind just now. I agree with Tim that one piece of advice is go buy some Bitcoins and pump it up, or buy some BitCrystals and pump it up. And look, but seriously, actually, look into Spells of Genesis. It is a pretty cool idea. So if you want to do that too, do it. But the other piece of advice that just came to mind was, isn't there like a classic proverb, or no, maybe not a proverb, but isn't it just common advice that you should never lend money to friends? That's a thing, right? So that's my advice, is never lend money to friends, because it always puts you at risk and can ruin friendships. And but here we are today, and I have a bunch of Tim's BitCrystals and a bunch of his Spells of Genesis cards that are worth a decent amount, and I have them in my control. So I just, don't lend money to your friends, because that means that people like me will have the ability to screw over people like Tim, and that is a bad situation to be in. So there you go, Tim. I'm keeping it. Yeah, I'm keeping all your money. Sorry about that. And
I have some recordings from a certain night that could be leaked out that involve some words that were spoken that will go out if I'm not given my money.
I can't say that I remember exactly what you're talking about, but I do absolutely believe you. I'm sure you probably do. So, yeah, I guess I believe you, Tim, and maybe I should be scared But there we go. I guess we have collateral.
But I'm
so.
not. 'Cause you're...
That's maybe that's the advice. Is if you're going to loan to friends, make sure you have some collateral. That's
if
actually
you're going
the
to put a
best way
knife
to do
in
it.
somebody's hand, always make sure you have a knife in their back too, because they're going to stab you in the back. Never trust anybody with your life. Ever. Exclude yourself. That's what Bitcoin's about, so you can stay in your house and just pay for everything that way.
All right, John, you've been quiet. Any thoughts on BitCrystals, lending money, or do you have some fresh new advice for us?
Oh, I mean, never use Tiny Bit or whatever it is. Tiny Bit?
Oh, Tiny Pick.
Tiny Pick.
Tiny Pick.
Never use Tiny Pick.
All right. Man, I don't know. Let us know, seriously, guys that are listening, let us know what you like better, because I feel like today we bounced around to several different smaller topics. We talked about BitCrystals, we read some feedback, we talked about this bank stuff and the letter, and then we got off onto bank robberies. I want to know, do you like several smaller topics better, or would you rather, what we often do is we start out with maybe a news story or just a random idea that we had, and we'll read a paragraph, or we'll just say, oh, I was thinking about this lately, and then we're just off into God knows where, and we just take that thread until we burn it dry. And yeah, I want to know what you like better. Would you rather we bounced around from several interesting things, read some feedback, give some advice, talk about bank robberies, or would you rather we picked an idea and just went with it and did a whole hour and a half about it? I don't know. I want to know what you like better. Like we talked about earlier, leave a comment on YouTube or on our website. If you're really into email and you want to keep stuff private, you can email me, Daniel@meandbtc.com. That's also a good thread if you want to advertise with us on the website or in the podcast. But yeah, so send us a tweet at meandbtc.com. Let us know what you like better, what you thought of today's show. If you thought we were intoxicated junkies defecating, let us know. You can find more episodes if you did enjoy this, or if you want to know what we were talking about, with our other formats where we just go off, or if you want to know the other times that we've talked about BitCrystals or anything at all of our past episodes, interviews, some opinion articles, whatever you want, can be found at meandbtc.com. So that's a good place to start if you want to. There's some links to our app there, links to Twitter, links to Facebook, YouTube, whatever. meandbtc.com. I'm going to throw another thank you to John for his music that you're probably hearing right now. John, are you still up for writing music for people? Is that something that people should contact you about?
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, so how can they do that?
You could email me.
Should they just start by using the regular Twitter, and then I'll put them in touch with you?
Yeah, Twitter works too.
Yeah, so if you want some music from John, the price is pretty darn fair for completely original music. I pay him for music from time to time. So that is, send me a tweet also at meandbtc.com, and I'll put you in touch with John. And by now, I normally play his music for about a minute at the end of the show. So maybe when I said you were hearing his music earlier, maybe I hadn't even started it yet, because now we've gone on for another minute or so. But now you're really listening to it, and we are really going to wrap up. Thanks for being here. meandbtc.com. Come back next Thursday. Peace.
Bye-bye, guys.